Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Hell on Wheels with a wise man who wheels and deals one-liners while whipping out wild words that wage within oneself. Uncle Gary got some laughs at an open mic talking about goats episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm, and Brian, who's joining us?
Sir, I'll tell you who's joining us. The all-powerful Antonio Edmonds. Sir, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing good. And don't be afraid of that microphone, dude. You can get up in there.
All right.
Twist her in there, do what you gotta do.
Cool.
Friends with it, dude.
You
doing okay today on this fine Sunday?
feeling real good.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, dude. We're not shooting in the Days Grimm studio. We are shooting in a private residence. So, thank you so much for having us, brother. I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate y'all coming up.
Hell yeah, dude. And for everybody that doesn't know, we like to do a quick little elevator pitch, dude. So, like in 60 seconds ish, just to explain to the folks, like, who is Antonio Edmonds?
I'm a comic. I'm originally from Indianapolis. Moved down here about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Mostly, man, it's comedy, writing. I think at my core, I'm a writer, and I'm also on the wiffle ball team. So,
shit, yeah, dude.
And I play pool. I don't know what that seems like.
You got a lot going on, brother. You got like RC car. You're like into RC cars, big or just like mid?
I started small, and then it became a thing.
Now it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, it might be.
But they're wild though.
And it's like,
this SS right here.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting on the remote for it now. I don't even know how fast it is, but
dude, and I went down that.
Oh yeah, here we
go.
Yeah, here comes the nerd Tommy popping out.
The crazy part is so like they're just like regular cars, low key. Miniature scale. That's like a 10th scale model right there. So like. You basically, like, you'll hit a curb and, like, they're plastic, so it'll break. So then you order metal ones. That way when it hits a curb, it doesn't break. It's just a constant upgrading process, essentially. Dude, I even have a chip. I still have it where you can, like, program the computer on them to control the speed. Or
that's
like,
what I needed.
Yeah, I've got one. I'll drop it by one time. Because, like, you can control it to where it, like, only uses, like, 70% so you don't overheat your motor or fry your motor or stuff like that, too. Or you can have it set up to where, like, there's no reverse. It's all gas and just brake.
Yes. Man.
No backing up.
As I get into it, but it's fun. It's fun. I don't know why, but it's super fun.
You seem like a man that's got a lot going on, dude. And I'm a big wiffle ball fan.
Well, and I feel like, too, like, being a comedian, you have to low-key have a lot going on. Like, you have to know a little bit about everything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that for sure. Like, I do play wiffle ball, like I said, and it's down in Haney's Corner.
On Saturday,
on
Sundays
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Oh, okay. What was that one day?
That was the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But and I was in the All-Star game, but I literally forgot. Like, I went swimming and shit. I was chilling. And then I was like, oh, shit, I was supposed to do something.
That's that chronic memory loss, you know?
That chronic memory loss, dude.
Man, I don't know. I'm telling you, a little bit like...
Dude, I got to ask, man, was it... So, like, you've been in Evansville for 5 years now. Is it a real bummer moving from, like, hustle and bustle, big city life? I mean, Indy's not, like, a huge city, but it's 2 million people or something. I mean, from a city that size to something like this, is it a real bummer?
At first it was, right? But then, like, I feel like even in just this little 5 years that I've been here, like, I've seen, like, a lot grow. You know what I'm saying? So there's, like, more comedy and there's more venues and different things like that. So, I mean, it's a small place, but it still kind of feels big sometimes. So it's not like, you know what I mean?
It is the third biggest city in Indiana.
Yeah. And then shout out to Terre Haute, who I think is number 2.
No, it's like...
Oh, not Terre Haute. It's
Indy area is like number 2.
It's the one
number
up by
one's
Chicago.
like Gary or Fort Wayne.
It's
one of
Gary,
those two.
Gary or Fort Wayne, one of those two. And then they always say, I was reading an article not too long ago about you can always judge the size of a city's growth by its homeless population. And honestly, I think we're on the up and up because I'm seeing a lot of them fellas just cruising around.
There's also a migration.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we're in an uptrend. You know,
we're in like a homeless migration path. Seriously, I'm not shitting you, dog. I was in like GameStop on the west side one day, and there was like a train like of just like homeless people, dog.
Yeah.
I was like, is this 1942? You
Yeah.
know, like it was bad, dog.
Dude, that's sick, man. No, but yeah, I don't know. I think Evansville's pretty tight, but I don't really. I've lived in El Paso for a little bit. That was kind of a bummer, dude. You ever been to El Paso?
No.
Kind of a shithole.
Never been to Texas.
Kind of a shithole. Texas is dope. El Paso is like right on the border of New Mexico, Texas, and Mexico.
I feel like, did we talk about, do you watch much comedy?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
You watch Kill Tony?
Yeah, I've seen it. And I'm trying, that's what I'm trying to do, like get some shit together so I can get down there.
Yeah, you should.
Hell yeah.
You think you could just burn rubber in 60 seconds?
I mean,
That's not a lot of time.
I think that I've been thinking about it because it's not a lot of time. It's a very short amount of time. But I mean, if I just figure out what I'm doing, because I'm pretty good at timing my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know about how long each jokes take.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it is tricky, though. I mean, we've talked to other comedians about the Kill Tony, like, layout, and you can really do it one of two ways, I feel like one good story with several punch-ups, or just rapid fire as many solid short jokes as you can.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another way to do it.
I think those are the only two.
Yeah.
To do it right.
Yeah,
Right.
to do it well. But short of that, man, have you seen any of the Days Grimm shows yet before?
No.
No? Okay, that's fine, dude. But before we leave today, you got to subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah, you'll be
Uh,
number
yeah,
500.
Hell yeah. But that being said, we do this little treat where normally I read the death of the week, but we're going to let Tom do the honors since he's got the monitor today. But we're going to go ahead and roll into this week's death of the week.
The death of the week.
All right, this week's death of the week is brought to you by Uncle John's blog. And there's like a Wikipedia and several other articles to like support this article. It's not a made up article. Portablepress.com is our source. The title is The Tragic Fencing Death of Vladimir Smirnov. It seems like a sport that's just two people sticking swords at each other that could result in death. It absolutely could, and it absolutely did. By 1980, Vladimir Smirnov was one of the best fencers in the world, if not the best. In a sport in which the Soviet Union was always very competitive, the Ukrainian-born athlete won 3 medals in 3 separate events at the 1980 Summer Olympics held in Moscow, the ones that the U.S. boycotted. That's in parentheses in the article.
Okay.
Smirnov won a bronze medal for the men's team épée, silver in a foil team, and gold for the foil individual. The foil and the épée are 2 different types of swords.
Okay.
The foil is the light, flexible, bendy one we always see, and the épée is the heavier with the thicker blade. Smirnov continued to dominate the fencing world, winning the World Championships in 1981. He returned to defend his title in 1982 championships in Rome. Smirnov faced a early round against 1976 gold medalist Mathis Baer of West Germany, not to be
name.
confused with East Germany.
What a name.
While fencing, it's generally quite safe. Competitors wear chest protectors, vests, gloves, face mask, among other equipment, these white suits that we all know. This match resulted in a tragic fluke accident as the 2 world-class fencers squared off and jabbed at each other. Baer lunged at Smirnov, and his sword broke improperly broken. The jagged, thin blade penetrated the mesh of Smirnov's face mask and kept going, and it punctured Smirnov's eye socket, and the blade went into his brain.
What?
The match was immediately called off as Smirnov fell in pain. He
you mean
died
they
9
didn't- they
days later.
You mean they weren't allowed to continue?
This is only one of 7 fencers to die as a result of injuries sustained in competition.
Get
But
outta
the death caused sweeping changes in fencing gear safety. Carbon steel blades are now used. Tougher, far less likely to break on impact, and now they wear Kevlar or strong nylon uniforms and masks made of even stronger steel alloys. Since then, there have been no deaths in high-level fencing.
Okay, first off, you may need to Google this, Tom. is Mr. Smirnoff the one that started the vodka company? Question number one.
I'm sure they're related.
And then question number 2. In what world would they ever let the fencing continue after someone just got their eye socket stabbed?
This says it was written in 2015, and I thought it was funny that it says that he was a Soviet fencer, it says that Smirnoff was won the gold for Russia, but then turns around and says he was a Ukrainian-born athlete.
Well, that was, what year was this again?
Yeah, the Soviet Union. It was 1882.
1882? Damn, this is
those
like...
dudes were tough back then.
Yeah, that was 20 years after the Civil War, bruh. That was like... Those were the hard men back then,
those
dude.
They were tough.
Bro.
Walk it off. Put dirt on your eye.
Yeah, he probably just pour some vodka in it.
Vodka was the answer.
There's a few different ways that, honestly, and then to also, it should be mentioned that not only were just men tougher in the 1800s in general, but Russian men, I mean, dude, that's
they're a different breed.
That's a
I
whole
wonder.
different...
I want to know more about the rules. Like, can you sweep the leg? Like, could you go down and kick somebody's leg out in fencing?
What is this,
or something?
jiu-jitsu?
It's a sword fight, isn't it? Like the safest sword fight ever.
Yeah, I had.
Or is it ballet with swords?
Is it more dancing, more formal and choreographed? I don't know,
Right.
dude. I don't know a lot about
graceful
fencing.
until somebody gets stabbed in the eye.
Yeah, shit's cool till you lose an eye, bro. Could you imagine if he would have lived, though?
He would have been that one guy, the Phineas Gage.
Dude, speaking of Russians again, do you remember that one, the Sausage King Russian we did?
I think so, yeah.
That might be one of my favorite deaths of the week of all time. Flashback to episode 37 or something.
I don't know.
He died by crossbow, and he was like a sausage extraordinaire from Russia. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
You guys should go back and find that one. But that being said, what do you think about the fencing thing? Would you ever do fencing?
No, not personally, not now.
Not. I'm
not in that
nervous.
wheelchair. I'm not. Maybe
Damn,
they get like a Tony Stark robot machine.
That's one thing that
Maybe a
with
little.
Neuralink that they're talking about being able to possibly work on correcting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without being is it too intrusive if I ask? Like, how'd you get in the chair, bro? Is it too intrusive for me to ask? We'll edit this out if it is.
You're good.
Okay.
Just talking. I got shot in 2005.
You got shot in 2005? God bless you. What happened? Do you want to talk about it or do you not want to talk about it?
Let's just say wrong place, wrong time. And it's just 5 times, and that's it. It was like one of those things that was like a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's a curse because of the situation that I got put in as far as the paraplegia and stuff like that or whatever. But it was still a gift because I technically died, but they brought me back. And I just kind of felt like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
I
died?
literally, yeah.
It's like a restart.
It's like
Bruh.
I got a second chance. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like I was on bonus time. I'm on bonus time now.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
I feel that, dude. I feel that. Hell yeah. I like that. I tell people about, because I went to Afghanistan. I was in the infantry for the Army. And I tell my wife that all the time. She gets mad when I do really risky shit. But to me, like, I'm winning. Like, I already won the game. You know what I mean? Like, I made it out. So, like, everything is bonus time.
Real.
Like, when you have a real life-altering close call, like, you're cool, bro.
It makes you enjoy it more.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm
is like a
saying?
giant reset button.
Appreciate everything,
Yeah.
even birds or grass
Just
or
the small
trees.
shit.
Yeah,
Like, seriously, yes.
Smell of grass on a Sunday, dude. Like, fresh cut
stuff
grass.
that people have never experienced any hardship just take for granted.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
bro. They're like, oh, it's such a shitty day. It's rainy. But I'm like, I love the smell of rain. Like, I find the goodness in everything, bro.
I get to wear a hoodie.
Yeah.
I wear a hoodie almost every day.
Hell yeah.
But check
dude.
this. It's like, all right, so I just got back from St. Louis. I took my daughter to St. Louis
Yeah.
because I had her a little bit for the summer. And I was looking at the arch, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first time seeing it. I'm like, this thing is fucking amazing.
That's
you
tight,
know?
yeah.
It's crazy to see it up close because it's so big, you know? But then it like, I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, the people who live here just don't even give a fuck about this arch anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They
So
probably want to take it down, bro. They're like, we're tired.
right. So that's kind of like how it is, though, when you don't appreciate shit, you know what I'm saying? It's actually beautiful in your life because it's been a constant. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you need that up and down to try to look at it.
Dude,
a
I
little
think more
different.
people should get shot, bro.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
just
Dude, my
saying.
cousin in Henderson got
least
shot and it
once.
changed his life.
Just take one to the leg, bro. You'll be fine, dude.
I don't know. So what was it like growing up in Indianapolis?
Yeah,
It was
you were
cool.
born and raised there, right?
Yeah, born and
Okay.
raised in Indianapolis. It was cool. I didn't have a father around. Like, I knew who he was, but like, it wasn't like a real relationship. But my mom and my grandma, man, they did a damn good job. Like, we weren't like wealthy or no shit like that. Like, we definitely have went through some hard times, but just those two together, it was like a super force.
I actually just am about to order these books by, I'm blanking on the guy's name. Kevin Gates references him a lot, and like I kept hearing these certain phrases that Kevin was saying, and I like looked it up, and it's actually from a book. And the first one's "Cry Like a Man," and the second one is it's by the same author. It's like a second book or whatever, but it was talking about how like people that grow up without a father figure, they still, whether they know it or not, place other father figure like people as their roles or whatever. And like,
yeah.
I feel like, did you have some of those in and out throughout the years that like you looked up to in certain moments or times?
Definitely. I think like my uncle at some point I looked up to. And then like, just to be honest, like they weren't always the best characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I got off on the wrong path, like, I don't know, around high school-ish.
Were you
wild
playing? Were you playing sports through high school?
Nah, no sports.
So straight to the game, no sports.
Were you for real? You're laughing, but were you? You're out just clowning, dude?
Yeah, man.
Just making a
like,
fool?
Yeah, man. Just
I think they call it
everything I
tomfoolery.
shouldn't have been doing, I was doing. You know?
Were you like the class clown or like the funny guy of your group?
And sometimes, like, all right, so look, I'll tell you a quick story from when I was like in elementary school. I think it was like 4th grade, and I got in trouble for being the class clown or whatever. So they called my mom and shit, and she was over it. So she comes in the room, you know, she's about to give me a whooping. She's got the belt and everything.
She got the belt.
Yeah, she's like, so you want to clown in school and shit again. So she says, well, what do you want to do with your life, right? And she's like trying to prove a point before she, you know, gives me the thing. So I just said, I want to be a comedian. And that answer fucked her up so bad that she just turned around. She put her hand on her face and just turned around and left the room. I was just like, I didn't even know what was happening.
Oh, yeah, dude. But look at you now, bro.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's awesome. You're winning, dude. That's so funny.
But I feel that though, like growing up like without a dad, you learn to be funny, to make like friends and influence like at an early age. I feel like
I just had ADD, dude. I mean, I still have ADHD or whatever for sure. Like that's the problem. And like people with ADHD or ADD, I just feel like we're always constantly moving so fast and we're jittery and like our brain doesn't lock down on one thing for very long. So you're constantly coming up with things to like entertain yourself. And I feel like the people around you too are just usually innocent bystanders,
right,
and they wind up being a part of it.
In high school, you're out running around. What comes next? Like after high school years for you? Did you try comedy for the first time?
No, I actually never even tried comedy until after I got shot, and that was in 2005. So after high school, I mean, just. I guess I started doing like more. What can I say? Like, I don't know.
That's up to you, man.
Yeah, you say whatever you want, brother.
Dealing drugs and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, no, we're cool with that. Yeah, we're cool with that.
So
you're good.
That's what it like ended up going to, was like selling a lot of drugs, and
Indianapolis is the crossroads of America.
It really is, bro. Hey, I want to ask something without being. I don't know how to ask it. I'm just gonna come out and say it. You got any Drake material? You got any Drake jokes? Any
Drake
Degrassi jokes?
Oh no,
Bro,
no.
you don't have a Degrassi joke?
No, man. I don't even think about Degrassi. I used to hate Degrassi because my little sister would watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so did mine, dude.
I never put any thought to Degrassi.
Come on, bro. That's low-hanging fruit, dude.
I know, man.
That's low-hanging fruit. Am I
That's
wrong?
some Kill Tony material.
That's
that you
low-hanging fruit. Hey, next time I see you, better have a Drake joke, dude. You better have a Degrassi
I'll
something.
come up with something. I got you.
That's good.
So after high school, you're doing your tomfoolery, and then so you're kind of smoking and joking around, just kind of bullshitting. What's the next big like event that happens?
You get shot, and then how long do you think that recovery process is for you?
Was that during the tomfoolery when you got popped?
Yeah, that was.
But was it your fault?
Yeah,
it was your fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all right, so I got shot, and then like I was in the middle of some shit. So like I had a gun and whatever, and I ended up getting locked up. So I was like literally in the hospital bed, like, and I woke up, I was chained to the bed. And then like 2 days later, like all these people start coming in the bed, like the hospital room, like the judge, the prosecutor, the stenographer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how like, they were.
Some
like,
dude comes in and wipes your cafeteria meal off and sets up his typewriter.
Yeah. So I end up like I got shot in both my arms. So
whereabouts? Like, was it high up in your arm?
Like here on this arm, and I think here, about here on.
Those
this
are the
arm.
only two that hit you?
Not 5.
Oh, you got 5?
Yeah, and then 1 in the chest, and then on the lung, and then in the back.
Damn, bro.
But
you are a lucky SOB. You know that, right?
Hey, I'm on bonus time, man. What you talking about? I told you.
Bro, he caught 5?
Yeah.
And 1 in the chest, dude?
Yeah.
Well, 2 technically, 1 in the lung and 1 in the chest.
Golly. You're like Marcus Luttrell, bruh.
Oh, I don't even know that.
You ever hear of the movie Lone Survivor?
Like the Army movie?
Yeah. The Navy SEAL one. He got shot like a dozen times.
Oh, for real?
And he got a bunch of shrapnel and shit. Somehow he lived. I have no idea.
And Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg played.
Okay.
Yeah. Marky Mark.
Yeah.
So basically, your like trials held while you're in the hospital, and then you have to finish healing up in jail.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to go to prison, so they sent me to prison, and I just learned how to like, maneuver and do for myself there because you're really
Independent.
You got no options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
nobody fucked with you though in there.
I had a couple of little things. But
No,
like,
bro. They're picking on the dude in a damn wheelchair that just got shot?
No, it wasn't even a big thing. It was like, all right, so
That's kind of fucked up, bro.
I learned to shoot pool a lot there, So I was shooting pool and some guys came in and they wanted to take the pool table so they could play,
And is there like not normal pool rules? Like, okay, you have to beat me to get the table?
No, this is not like that in prison. I mean, normally,
Yeah, normally. But in the jungle.
No,
I'm good.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Right.
So now they try to take the pool table from me. And I stood up for myself, but I actually knew a dude who was like a big Aryan dude, and he was kind of like my buddy. So he was like,
"Oh, that's weird how that works out."
He was like,
I think it's so cool.
You're gonna take what from him?
I think I do find that like you find those like Aryan, like strong racist guys, and then like once they meet like a black guy and like actually have a conversation, it's like they're just they finally realize like, oh, they're just normal people, like it's all the same.
There's a good quote from American History X, great film by the way. I don't know why I just did a Trump voice there. Great film, by the way. Really is a phenomenal film. One of my favorites. But the guy that's like the head Nazi, the guy that plays in Fight Club or whatever, I forget his name. He near the end of the movie says, "Life is too short just to be mad all the time."
Right.
And he was like, that was when he converted around. You seen American History X?
Nope,
Killer
but
film,
I like
bro.
that. Oh yeah, I have.
Killer film. He's like Bite the Curb, that movie. Yeah, dude, it's killer film. Super fucked up in the beginning, but
So you like learn to maneuver around. Are you like? Is that when you like? I mean, I assume you're trying to figure out what you're gonna do with
When
your
I get
life
out.
when you get out,
Yeah,
and like how to change your trajectory. Because from then on, you're on bonus time.
Right. So seriously, like I knew, like I was like, all right, well, this is the pinnacle of my fucking up, So I knew I didn't want to do back, I didn't want to go the same way I went, and I had to move in with my mother when I got out, and it was fucked up because I was like in the living room with this little hospital bed and shit.
Mom is just mad.
Man, yeah, she was not happy about it. So, you know what I'm saying? It took me a little bit, probably like 6 months, and then I got myself together and got me a little apartment, and it was this like
Damn, boy.
converted garage studio or whatever, but it was cool. So
That's tight, dude. I always
So
wanted to live
what'd
in
you
a
start
garage.
doing? Like when you're finally like get out on your own and like independent. Like what was some of the first things that like you did?
that's like as far as
Like, did you get into comedy? Were you like
No.
more into writing and reading and like?
I've always been into writing, like and grammar and all of that, but like I think that after the shit happened, after I got hurt or whatever, and I got home, I was like, what? I've always wanted to do it, like I said, as a kid. But I was like, what do you got to lose now? You know what I'm saying? Let's just fucking go for it. And I filled out this thing for Crackers Comedy Club in Indianapolis. And
A lot
Great
of
club.
crackers there.
yeah. So I filled it out, and I didn't think
Jesus.
that they were ever, because it took a long time for them to respond. Then they sent me an email back and says, "Yeah,
This is
you
for
got
like an
3
open mic?
minutes." It's an open mic that they did,
And you had to
get 3
apply for the
minutes.
open mic?
You had to apply for it like online, and they would respond.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So they gave me told me when I could go up. They gave me 3 minutes, and I did good. I mean, I'm sure if I looked at it today, you know
Be
what
like,
I mean?
ugh.
But it was enough. It was enough of it to keep me going. Like it was like, okay, this feels like something we should be doing, and that's it, man. I
You
It's a
started
wrap.
signing
Yeah.
up on the regular there.
Yeah, I would go there, and then they had this other place called Morty's Comedy Club, and they started having like competitions, and it was called like the funniest person in Indiana or something similar to that.
Yeah.
But I won that one year, and that was cool.
Damn, dude, you are a funny guy. Okay, so I gotta preface with
God bless.
I
you.
actually met you up at the Nest.
Yeah,
My brother, who's also a bald white man, was there with me.
yeah.
Yeah. You remember that ugly son of a bitch?
Yeah, I remember that time.
So shout out to Corey, bro. No, but we met you outside. You were smoking. I think we were just chilling, waiting for the show to start. And you in no way put out a vibe that you were going up on stage. Like, I thought you were just there for the show. And then, like, you scooted off and you were like, all right, I'll see y'all later. And we were like, all right, later, bro. And you took off. And I was like, what a nice dude. I remember looking over at my brother. I was like, what a nice dude. He was really cool. And then, like, the show goes on. And then Paul Bragan hits me up and he was like, yeah, Antonio, you got to have him on your podcast. And I was like, I'll take whatever, dude. Just send him my way. And then here you go scooting up on the stage. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. This is Antonio. I was talking to him like 20 minutes ago, bro.
That's right. That's right. Damn, that's right.
And Paul was with all his buddies there, and I was sitting
Yeah.
right next to him.
At that
But,
time, okay.
Yeah, dude, that was you did great material. Like, super. I remember it being super funny. I could hear you really well. But it's just so I want to, like, once you roll into comedy up in Indy.
Well, like, what's your writing process like?
Yeah. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. Once you roll in, my bad, dog. You get it though. Once you start, getting full steam ahead, and comedy is where you want to go. Like, so you do the competition. What other are you like traveling to go places and hit different spots in different cities?
more like
or?
around the city. But the thing about it is, man, like I go through like depression and shit sometimes too. You know what I'm saying?
Like a true comedian, yeah.
Yeah, like like all of us for sure. So I'll go hard for 2 years, and then I might take a year and a half, 2 years off. You know what I'm saying?
Damn,
like
really?
But are you still writing in that year and a half, 2 years off?
Yes, always writing. Like I always write.
I feel like that's just normal comedian shit. Most comedians spend a year writing an hour's worth of material. They tour on that material, and then.
Tom, will you ask the question you were going to ask before?
Well, yeah.
I cut you
What's
off
like? Are you writing? Like, are you writing it out in like a notebook on your phone? Like, what's that process like for you?
Both. I have a notebook and I use my phone, keep notes. But yeah, most of the time I'm just jotting down premises, and then I'll go back and really write it out and edit it. Yeah, and figure out what goes where.
What about
like early phase of writing it out? Like, did you always do it that way, or was there a certain point where like you switched your process on it?
I don't think it was like this at first. It was less organized. It would be because I feel like my comedy kind of evolved. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same as it was. Same tone, but I definitely prepare it different. Like I write so I sound like me. I feel like, and before it felt like I was trying to write to be funny. You know what I mean? Like, and it felt disingenuous.
Can you expand on that a little bit? What do you mean? To sound like you versus to write to be funny? What do you mean by that?
All right. So like when I write, like I'm literally just spilling my thoughts onto the paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I figure out a way to format it for an audience, of course. But like I was thinking of when I first started doing comedy, I was thinking of like ways to like what I should do this will be funny. You know what I mean? And it was more of me trying to like prove to them I'm funny as opposed to me just expressing myself and they tell me I'm funny. Does that make sense?
It'd be like if you were wearing a suit but doing like only homeless person jokes. And they'd be like, this guy's never been homeless. He's just writing.
I get you.
Jokes
yeah. So you're
funny.
you were saying before when you started, you were like, I need to write down what's funny. I need to bring the funny to the table. Whereas now you're like sitting down and like almost like mindlessly dumping your thoughts throughout the day, the week, the month, the year, whatever. And then you're coming back and finding a way to make a joke out of those. Yeah. Right? Is that kind of what you're doing now?
Sort of, yeah, for sure. That's
what about input? That's one thing that I don't ask a lot of comedians this.
Well, we find out too that like your comedy question, you normally ask comedians that watch comedy, like, do you find that bleeding into your writing material? Like, say you've watched Adam Ray's like Dr. Phil bits that he's doing all the time. Like, do you find that you're writing jokes kind of in that similar?
No, because I feel like I got my cadence already in my head for almost anything I would do. But yeah, that's kind of why I don't watch a lot of comedy, because sometimes you can do that and it's not even a forethought. It could be like subconscious, some shit you know what I mean?
I hear a lot of like
say that, yeah.
premises or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I think it would be funnier if they tweaked this, and then it's like, oh, am I stealing their joke because I took their...
What if you don't even... What he's getting at, what I think happens most often is if you're taking in a lot of comedy, you're loving it, you're laughing, you're having a good time, and then say you go to write down something funny one day, subconsciously you're riffing off of something that you heard from a special somewhere. Another thing, I have another input question as far as like how-tos, or do you ever do stuff like that? Do you ever like read... First off, do you read much at all? Are you a reader?
Yeah, I read.
You're a reader?
That's the thing. Like, I used to read a lot, right? And then, like, physically, with the book. But then it's just now I got ADHD too. Yeah. And it's like reading a book, dude. It's like literally like taking an Ambien or some shit. Like I'm going to sleep.
I'm the same way.
But I do good with audiobooks.
So does Tom.
I listen to the audiobook, and if 9 times out of 10. Audible has it to where if you don't like the book, you can turn it back in. You can only do it like 3 times in like every 4 months or something. But I find books that I like, and some of them I like only audio wise, but other ones where I'm like, man, that's a really good book. I want the physical copy. I'll buy a hardback and I'll make it notes or highlight in the actual book.
Did you
But it
start
takes me
my
forever to get there.
Adrian?
No, I just got a book, The Roomy Essentials.
When
And
you
so
start mine, you'll see all my notes and
Yeah.
stuff. But that's why I love the actual book in my hand, though. I too, I really have to be into a topic for me to sit down and read it and not fall asleep. Like my eyes don't get tired. You know what I mean? Because I'm the same way as you. But I find that like if I find a good topic, I stay in it pretty good if I'm awake and alert. But my next question in reference to reading, have you ever read anything about like new comedians do this or like any other like
what's that one book you have?
books that other comedians have put out? Like the one that I bought was How to Write Funny by, I forget his name, but it's called How to Write Funny. He's got a series of books on how to write funny, how to do comedy, how to character build, how to this, how it's basically like a writing guide of comedy. Do you ever get into anything like that like helps you, you know, like build your comedy? Any kind of books or anything you've ever read that helped you like add to your comedian tool belt?
I read one of the books that helped me out a lot was Larry King's book.
Oh, that's a news guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, old cat.
Yeah. And he was just basically talking about talking to people, like how to talk to people. And that's all it's about, really. We're literally just communicating, you know what I mean, with a microphone. So
Was that something that you had to overcome? Like I can sit here and talk on a microphone to you guys and know that a few hundred people will see it online and that doesn't bother me. But like getting up on stage and being like,
Real time.
it's like more vulnerable.
it's
Like,
scary every time for me. Like you would think that shit would pass. Like some days is more comfortable than others, but literally you don't, like most of the time you don't know these people. It's usually a different group of people every time, you know? You gambling. Like you like, I wonder if they're gonna take this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're rolling the dice,
right.
bro.
And so it can be, it's intimidating as fuck, but the reward is worth the risk, you
Right.
know? Like
Yeah,
if
have
you
you ever
kill, you feel it. It
you ever
feels
had a
great.
time where like you're bombing and you have to like adjust on the fly?
Yeah.
What's that like? And like in your mind, like what's the
How do you overcome that, bro?
I don't know. I one thing that I don't know where I heard it, but the audience doesn't know what you're going to say. There was some simple advice that I got one time, and it makes sense that literally they're just waiting on me to say some shit. So if I do fuck up, like they don't know it unless I make it apparent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's wise. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess you can try to adjust. You might go back to some shit that you know will work. Like, all right, one time I was at Damsels and it was a roast mic. So that means that you go up and then after that, the crowd can roast you for 2 minutes or so, something like that, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Cause I really, that's not my type of thing. Like I did one roast battle, you know what I'm saying? And that's not my field. I don't like to do that. You know what I mean?
Like stick and move on people.
Yeah, that's not my style.
Yeah, I get it.
So all right, we doing the thing, and the dude, it was like 2 people went up before me, and the fucking crowd was vicious. I'm talking about like, God, like they started like, I'm not even gonna repeat like some of the shit they said, but they were vicious. You know what I'm saying? And I started freaking out. I'm like, man, fuck this. Why the fuck did I say I was gonna do? You know what I mean? So I go up on stage, and I froze. I froze for, I say about 40 seconds. Like, and then I told him, I was, because it said Damsels. You know where that's at?
Yeah, they do the show upstairs, which I have so many
upstairs.
questions
They have
about
to
that
carry
as
me
well.
Up there,
They carried you
Four
up?
people carry me up the stairs every time I go to Damsels.
Hell
So,
yeah. Hey,
listen-
bro, I'll carry you. I swear to God I will, dude.
I believe it.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm about it.
I would do it if we did it like you got to start doing like church bits where like they lower you in. You know what I mean? Like how they lowered in the guy to Jesus.
Don't do that.
Look,
Don't do
So-
that, dude. Don't bring God into this.
the first thing I said to him Like, cause I fucking froze. But the first thing I said to him was, I want to storm out, but I need too much help to get down the fucking steps. You know,
That's so good.
That's a good icebreaker.
That's so good.
But they laughed, and then it broke me too. So I just went right back to it and finished up like pretty strong.
That's a good point, though. Do you hate when a comedian laughs at his own jokes?
No, because I'm one of those dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of comedians say, like, it's not good to laugh at your own joke, but I don't know how true that is.
I don't know.
I think
mean,
it depends on the style you've developed, and if it's a part of your style and your cadence and everything.
Yeah.
You know,
gotta
I
have
feel
a
like
good
there's
laugh,
comedians
too.
that do it. Like
sometimes it just tickles you in the moment. Literally, the shit that I wrote, I thought was funny. So I'm like,
It's hard to not.
yeah, you know,
It's hard to
especially
not.
like sometimes I'm even like, I know I'm about to get around to the punch. Like I'm tickled. You feel me? Sometimes like I tickle myself.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I like to tickle myself, dude. No, but I was talking. What I was about to say is, you can't do that if you got to laugh like Tom does, dude. He's got that.
I don't laugh like that all the time, but yeah.
Hey, it's a comic though. His name is Graham. Damn, I can't think of his last name right now. But his name is Graham. He goes to Damsels too, and he's fucking funny. He made one of the funniest Diddy jokes I ever heard. But he laughs. I think he has like a condition to where he. I'm not fucking like he laughs, and I want to try to do it, but I cannot do it. But it's one of those laughs, dude. When he laughs, I laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
It's contagious. Yeah.
It's contagious. Like it makes me laugh.
And that was another point I was going to make is, I don't know what comedian told me that, or if I heard it on a podcast. I'm not sure where comedians shouldn't laugh at their own jokes on stage or whatever. But what I will say is that, like, if you do have a good laugh and it is contagious, you get some of the people in the front row to laugh, and then if they start laughing, then the people behind them and beside them start laughing, and it's like, that's why they do, right? Like comedy and like crackers and like heliums and stuff. Like, it's a small, intimate setting, so when one person starts laughing, the person on their right shoulder starts laughing, and it just kind of spreads like wildfire. It's been scientifically proven that laughter is actually contagious. Like,
For sure.
yeah, so it's pretty tight, dude.
And then sometimes like you'll say something and like, I've never been a dirty comic, but I will say, you know what I mean? Like I'll say something that, you know, wouldn't be appropriate to listen to for a kid or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like you'll say it and then you just feel it immediately. Like,
Yeah, I made a joke like that the
but
other
then
day.
like sometimes one dude will fucking start cracking up. You know what I'm saying?
And it just
and
spreads.
everybody else is like, okay, it's okay for us to laugh at
Yeah.
that. You know,
You got to know that it's jokes.
It's too PC around here sometimes. Like everybody's
That's why
so
I can't.
sensitive.
I could never do
It
comedy
be like
around
that,
here.
dude. Excuse me. Church is like big around here. Like, Jesus is just out here, got his hand
a
on
Bible
everybody.
Belt.
I'm serious, dude. Yeah, we're in the Bible Belt for real. You got to be careful. But we got a couple good, like real clean comedian friends, and God, they're still funny as hell, dude. Like, I like clean comedy now just as much as I like dirty comedy, but like, I'm a big fan of the dirty, dark comedy, like Anthony Jeselnik. We were talking before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan. Do you have big influences that have kind of carried you along, or like even got you like the idea of you going on stage? Like, who were some of those folks?
So it would have been back then. It would have been like Martin Lawrence, Bernie Mac. Like
R.I.P.
pretty much, yeah, for sure, R.I.P. Like pretty much all those dudes from Def Comedy Jam, because that was like my real introduction to comedy as a thing. Like when I saw that shit, I was like, look at this. You know, these motherfuckers are controlling all these people with their words.
Yeah.
And that's like, man, that shit hit me on a different level, you know? So, and you would see everybody. That's one thing I appreciate about comedy. Like, everybody's doing the exact same thing, but we're doing it different. You know what I mean? So you can appreciate all styles, all variations. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I saw that shit. I was like, man, I can't imagine how that would feel.
Yeah. Like complete control of a room.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
If you're
Something
rolling,
like,
if you're hot.
If you got it going, you lock everybody in. Like that night, like you almost didn't hear almost anybody else's set. You know what I mean? But for some reason, I locked them in immediately. And then
I need to make a note to myself. If I said the venue, I need to edit it out. But that being said, yeah, the PA was kind of sketchy that night. But yeah, dude, like your set, I was like tuned in. Like you had it like locked in. I don't know if you were talking louder than the others. I don't know if it was because you're like at a lower altitude. I don't know what was happening, dude. But you, dude, you fucking,
Well, also,
bro, you had it. You had me locked in, and I was like, This sucks. This PA kind of sucks. But like his jokes are like I can hear his jokes, and you're just one after the other after the other. It was solid, dude.
I wonder how much of it too. Like,
Solid.
do you
set.
have to read the audience and know, like, all right, these 3 jokes, I'm replacing them with these 3 jokes, and like how
Yeah, I've
fast
done
do you have
that
to make
before.
that mental decision?
I've done that before, but most of the time, like, I don't know. I'll do it while I'm there or on my way, which is not really like, super prepared, but I feel like then I can tweak it as I want to, like, and just build a set list. I already know the jokes,
Yeah.
So, and then some people have talked shit about me, like reading my notes, you know what I'm saying? Like on stage, like I'll have either a piece of paper or my phone, but literally the only thing that's on there is the title of the jokes in the order. Yeah. Like it's just the set. It's
Just a guide.
There's no other words on there. Like I could show you how man.
Hey,
Some people be talking shit. That's all I'm saying.
haters gonna hate. Dude.
Yeah, for real. Like I'm a pothead, but I'm still funny, so I gotta fucking have a little reference. Ain't
Yeah,
nothing
dude,
wrong
because you're
with
gonna
that.
forget, bro.
I'm going to forget.
But that's I
was supposed to be in the All-Star game. I forget.
I'm dead, dude. He said I was supposed to be in the All-Star game. That's funny, dude. No, I appreciate it. We were talking to another comedian, Zach Pollard. Do you know him?
Yeah.
Zach Pollard's
I like
funny.
Zach.
He's a funny cat.
Yeah.
Real young cat. Like 23, 22, 23 or something.
I was on his podcast.
You did BallZack?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Hell yeah, dude. He's tight. He's a good dude. But I was talking to him about the first time I saw him at Damsels, and I kind of felt bad when I said this to him, but I was just trying to make a funny joke during the interview or whatever, and I was like, oh, here, because he came up on stage and he had these post note cards, like 4x6 note cards with him and a Busch Light, and that was all he carried on stage, and he starts telling a joke, and then he flips a card down, puts it on the table, and takes a drink of his beer, and people would just start losing it. But my joke to him was, oh, great, here comes this guy. When I saw you walk on stage with note cards, I was like, this guy's going to suck. I just thought immediately, he's bringing notes, he's going to suck. But he killed.
Yeah.
It's possible,
I also
dude.
feel like if it's a new joke, you need the note card sometimes.
Yeah. That when it's new, for sure. But I would only do that at like an open mic. Like I wouldn't, if I'm at a show like where it's all set up, like I'm bringing the heat as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like for sure, you got to get those words right. I'm wordy with some of my jokes too, so
That's the hard part for me, too.
It can make the difference of the impact with just the change of one word. You know what I mean? So you gotta get that shit. I don't know.
It's
I'm
hard for me.
tedious about my writing.
It's hard for me to do the less is best rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them less, make your words that you choose be better. It's hard for me. I want to be wordy too, like long and drawn out. Anytime I try to tell a joke, it's just too long and wordy. So like, I'm not very good at writing jokes for that reason. But
if you threw more wordplay in there, you could make those longer jokes better.
If you feel like, man, I feel like I used to stay away from a longer form joke, but now it's like, man, I kind of embrace it because first off, you can kind of relax in the moment, and if you're good at painting the scene, like they'll just go on the adventure with you, you know?
yeah.
You just take your time, and when you get there, it's gonna be all the more worth it.
Oh, I had a good question too. Silence, dude. There's I forget what comedian it is. Damn. Why can't I not remember who it is? Famous comedian. But he will start a joke and it's long form story style jokes, and he'll like give you a small punch in the beginning of the joke. And then he'll just like walk around the stage for a little bit in total silence. Like the crowd is silent, he is silent. What do you think about silence as a tool with comedy? Or does the silence give you anxiety like it would me?
It used to give me a lot of anxiety, but then after a while, like I think I started to realize that it's literally one or two things, you know what I'm saying? Like either they're not into what you're talking about or they're paying attention, you know?
Yeah.
So you got a 50-50 of it just being them waiting on you to finish developing what you're trying to develop. And I've started to embrace the silence because I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to respond right here. I want you to wait while I'm painting this shit up, you know, so then we can all get there together.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It was Anthony Jeselnik. That's who it was. They were talking. It was a question somebody posed to him when he was on a podcast. And they said, you know, you use silence as a tool because he does. If you watch Jeselnik's stuff, he'll like start a joke and then just stop and like look around at the audience and like do weird shit and just walk around.
What's some advice you would give to somebody that's like wanting to get into comedy?
Write everything you think of, even if it sounds stupid as fuck. Write it because you'll be able to come back to it and make it something.
Yeah, Brian just writes down like he thinks like loud nun pussy. He's like, there's something funny there, and he'll just write down loud nun pussy.
Bro, he's smiling though.
Yeah,
there's something there.
If I show you man, hold on, I'm gonna look it up because I just made a note about something, and it was something similar to that.
Yeah, like cinnamon biscuits. I'll just write it down.
You got a feeling that it's gonna be funny. You're like, oh
yeah,
okay,
dude,
yeah, I can come. I need to put this down somewhere.
I'm working on loud nun pussy still. I really think there's something there, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something there.
We painted a whole story for it, and
yeah, we wrote an action film with Bruce Willis in it, dude.
Yeah, and Betty White.
And Betty White CGI'd into the film.
Both of them.
Dude, that might be Tarantino's last film, Loud Nun Pussy.
Be hot. I'd subscribe to that OnlyFans.
Oh, it was.
What do you got?
Asian suicide prevention. Seriously, like,
that's all he's got.
There's different ways you can go. You can go the suicide forest. You can go with that.
Those suicide forest dudes. That's what I was thinking of when I wrote it down. So I know where to go.
What we do? We just chop all the trees down.
No, dude, they're whipping your ass for trying to commit that out there. You know, but
it's
saying?
It's funny that it comes from the same culture of disembowelment, that form of suicide.
Yeah,
but yet, like, you kill yourself with a knife and you get all your guts out, respected. But you hang yourself in a forest,
you're trash. You're trash.
No, you ever seen those videos?
I know something about the forest.
People try to jump off. No, not the forest. People try to jump off the balcony and shit. They come in like SWAT team. They got rappels and shit, and they fucking back out, kick the fuck out of you so you can't.
Hey, you know
That's a
what?
real thing.
Yes, you should look those videos up.
Why have we not seen this on the podcast before?
You know what Apple did?
What?
In China?
So when I think it was like the iPhone 6 is when this started. It was like when they really got picked up, and the new iPhone drops come out or whatever, and they're like running the factory like 20-hour work days or whatever, and people are jumping out of the building,
bro. Yeah.
Because they're like, fuck this iPhone for some American cunt. I'd rather die. And they jump out the building. Well, after like the first guy, they installed like trapeze nets. So when they started jumping out, they like roll down to like the lower floor, and they're like, all right, go finish that plus. We got Thomas in Indiana who needs that Pro Max on day one.
They got suicide nets outside the Apple factory in China. This is a real thing.
That's what I'm saying. They're proactive against it. You know what I'm saying? They're making sure that the people don't do it as much.
Japan should be taking notes, dude. Notes.
You should watch those videos because they fuck them up sometimes. Like they're just on the edge of the balcony. Like, oh, I'm gonna jump, motherfucker, come swing down and kick the fuck out of them.
Yeah, I've seen those where they rappel off the top of the building. You not seen that?
No.
Somebody's like in a window about to jump, and the guy jumps off the top of the building and like kicks him back into the.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. It's a suicide force.
You've never brought this up on the podcast. I've never seen this, dude. Yeah, we got to look that up. Next podcast that we do in the studio with a monitor, we got to show somebody that.
Do that compilation.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what's up, man.
Get your ass back.
Get your ass back to work, man. What are you doing?
It'd be funny.
No, that's awesome, man. I don't know, dude.
There was that guy in California that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge
and survived,
and like broke like half the bones in his body, and a sea lion came and brought him up to the surface. Like
Goddamn sea lion.
Death versus man, man versus nature right there, Man doesn't want to live, nature says live.
Yeah.
Dude, life.
But he said
away.
like literally after he jumped, he was like, I don't want to die. So like I guess that was like a saving grace.
Nobody appreciates my Jurassic Park reference. Do you hear me?
No.
Jeff Goldblum, life finds a way.
Yeah.
Shout out to that fucking sea lion, dude.
Oh yeah.
That dude's alive he's breathing today.
So like you say to write is like your advice, but like what do you have for somebody that's like wanting to overcome that fear of getting on stage?
The tangible, the physical portion of comedy.
Yeah, there's really no getting over it. Like I said, I get anxious, every time. But only thing I can say is really the fucking payoff is worth it. Like if you
that dopamine hit of people
there's
laughing.
no other feeling in the whole world like it.
When you get that hit,
when you kill a room, like man, there's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if you had to overcome anything in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you just feel like right now in this fucking moment, everybody in this room appreciates me, and that's powerful.
Especially that's also
because
why
the only
comedians
reason they
have
do
depression.
It is because what you wrote, huh?
That's also like a reason I think comedians have some depression. Is like you see those comedians that go like every night to every single thing they can. I think they're chasing that hit because they don't have anything else. It's like why am I blanking on his name? The guy from Mrs. Doubtfire. It's like why he was so funny.
Oh, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. You know what I mean? Like, and he was always doing something fun, always trying to make anyone and everyone laugh. You know what I mean? And it's because he's sad inside or whatever. But
I can see depression being a problem with comedians as well because, like, let's say you just have like a month of bad shit, and you just got a month of just bad shows, bad mics, and you're just getting cold for a month. You're like, God damn, am I even good at this anymore? You just like the internal reflection that you must have after freezing out and fucking bombing. But then if it happens multiple times in a row, you're not a bad comedian. You're just having multiple bad nights, maybe a bunch of new material, or maybe you're just off your game. Maybe your dog just died or something. You know what I mean? So you're fucked up or whatever. I don't know. I can see that. I can see a bad show inflicting me pretty immensely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it hurts. Fucking sucks to suck.
You mean it's not good bombing?
No. I mean,
not unless you're ISIS.
It gives you a chance to analyze like what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like what got you in that position? Like was it the material? Was it the sound? Was it it's a lot of variables when it's up, but like literally, you just got to eat that shit.
Yeah,
and go back in. Like if you notice what you're supposed to be doing, like if you feel it, like I feel like there's nothing else for me to do. This is it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know that. And I don't know, man.
What's the next big move, man? So like this is what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're funny, you're good. How you getting out of Evansville? How you gonna do this? How you doing it?
What's my plan?
What's the next big step? You know what I'm saying?
The next thing I want to get to, I need to get down to Texas. Once I get to Texas, hopefully, I don't know. I think that's the plan. Get to Texas.
Get you a month of vacation or whatever. Get you a month down in Austin and just go there every week. You know what I mean? Go to Kill Tony and sign up every week.
And there's open mics throughout there. It's the new comedy mecca.
Yeah, you got to get pulled in a month, you would think. Maybe. But yeah, there's a ton of mics down there that you can always hit too. There's tons of places. Texas is, that's God's country.
What do you have upcoming? Is there any local like shows upcoming or anything you're pushing right now?
Yeah, I'm doing something August 3rd in Chandler, but I haven't got the flyer yet.
In Chandler, that's my neck of the woods.
Oh damn! Shout out to the
where's
people.
that place at?
I've never been to Chandler, so I don't.
Oh, gotcha.
Even know.
You know the name of the joint though?
No, that's what I was saying. I was waiting on the flyer. Somebody asked me. It was like, "Hey, you want to do one?" I was like, "Yeah." And
that might be tight. Might be like a little pizzeria or something. I don't know because they don't have like a.
They don't really have much in Chandler. That's why I was like, I wonder where it's at.
A bunch of
you could
rich
do
white
comedy
women
anywhere. I've done comedy in some of the weirdest fucking places.
I always enjoy hearing those stories from like comedians that have, made it, like the famous guys, and they talk about their early days, like where's the weirdest shit you've ever done comedy at, and like who was it? It might have been Tom Segura that was like, yeah, I did stand-up comedy in a laundromat, and there were like 8 people in there all doing laundry. Like no one was there for me, and I just had to go through my bits. And it was like him and like 3 other comedians. Like, bro, we're just trying to do laundry. I swear to God, I love hearing those stories. It's like, yeah, I did a mic at a Chuck E. Cheese one time. Like what?
I think one of it, I wouldn't say weird, but it was definitely different. You ever heard of the First Church of Cannabis?
Yeah, it's in
Indianapolis. Yeah. So they opened this whole church. It's called the First Church of Cannabis, and they would do comedy there sometime. So I've done some shows at that place, dude, and those people were cool as fuck.
And they're like Christians?
Yeah.
Like Christians that smoke weed?
Yeah.
I didn't really delve into the religion aspect of it. Like I knew them, but I didn't know exactly what they were doing. I knew I supported it because of the weed aspect. But,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It was really weird at first because when they first brought it there, they had the FBI sitting in the parking lot and shit.
Yeah,
like,
because they were like checking people to bring that were like bringing weed in because it's a church of cannabis or whatever. But like, I'm pretty sure like you can't go in a church. It's like safe. It's a safe place. You know what I mean?
It's a federal.
Right.
There's a federal law that says you cannot step into a place of worship. Yeah. That's valid. Yeah.
So it was weird. It was weird energy.
That's tight,
but it was
dude.
crazy. I'll tell you one thing real quick about it is they had this mural. You know how they touch God is touching the hand?
Yeah.
It was like a Lord, he's passing the joint.
No, he's not.
It was a huge mural. It was on the whole wall. It's just one hand to the other passing the joint. I was like, that, I'm in the right place.
That's tight.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, dude. One thing we do like to like tie up on every show. One thing we do like to, and we preemptively warned you about this. So, through your journey, and it could be with comedy, or it could be the route that took you, that landed you in the comedy world, or whatever, just in life in general. Did you ever have a dark moment that made you want to, stop doing comedy? Or whatever venture you were into at the time, and then you don't have to give a whole bunch of details about the dark moment, but what we care most about is what was the thing that gave you perseverance? What was it that pushed you through that dark moment and helped you keep your foot on the gas? You know what I'm saying?
This actually, my dark moment was before comedy. I'm all fucked up, and I was in like this rehab place, and I didn't want to do anything. I thought it was over. I thought I was broken forever, and I had given up. And there was one lady who worked there, and she's like coming in. She's like, hey, you want to get up today? I'm like, nah, I'm good, and then she'd ask again. And then there were black people that worked in the kitchen, so she went and got them to ask me to think maybe, if black people ask him, he'll do it. So it's like, no, I don't want to get up. I don't want the fucking blinds open. I want you to leave me alone. And then one day she came in and she fucking opened the blinds and ripped the blanket off and was like, you getting your ass up today.
Is this the white lady?
No, she's Puerto Rican.
Oh,
and she's
nice,
still in
dude.
my life right now today. But that was my turning point. Like I
just needed somebody to push you over the edge.
Yeah, that's what I needed. I needed somebody to make me go to the other side. Like,
and Puerto Ricans will make you do some shit.
Man, I had no choice in the matter. But it was one of the best days of my life. Like that shit it turned me around. Like, and I'm super optimistic about shit. Like I'm not like one of those negative people. I don't get down about shit. I like to be happy. I like to be upbeat, even though I get depressed and shit like that. But for the most part, man, like I'm enjoying every fucking second.
So what pulls you through it? That just this like a strong support system?
Well, yeah. And I mean, you just got to go through mental battles sometimes with yourself in the dark, just think, try to figure shit out, some ways to make something work for you. Because now, like, it don't seem like a lot, but like you lose your legs, you in a wheelchair and shit, like you got to think about a lot more shit that you wouldn't even, you know what I mean? Like a ramp or something, you know what I'm saying? Or like a spot where there's no more sidewalk. Just dumb shit, you know
Getting
what I'm
booked
saying?
for a comedy club that's upstairs.
Exactly. So many of them upstairs.
Right.
So many. I'm sick of the stairs.
Cut the stairs out,
Cut the
folks.
fucking stairs. Get
Cut
one
your
down.
stairs.
Fuck. I'll tell you a quick story. I was in, it was a place called Be Here Now. And I got there and the dude was like, all right, we're going to do it in the basement. So I'm like, damn, man, you should have fucking told me before I got all the way out here, you're going to do it in the basement. So there's firemen at the bar. I'm like, well, maybe they could do it. You know what I'm saying? And they were cool as fuck. And they carried me down there so the best carrying of my whole life.
Hell yeah.
Like super solid. They watched the show, laughed, and then they carried me back upstairs.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. Shout out to our firefighters. All civil service members, man. Thank you all so much.
For sure.
Yeah, they're tight, dude. Seriously. I love a good firefighter, dude. I get their calendars every year. Anyways, that being said, dude, dates coming up. You got one coming up in Chandler. You got anything else you got coming up for sure you know about, or any shout outs or anything that you want to do? We kind of give you the last couple minutes to wrap the show up on dates and shout outs to your folks and people you're going to tell the show about, or tell about the show.
Yeah, I just got the thing Saturday. I don't know. I got a little thing over there. Like I'm putting together a special. So I'm working on that, but.
And you're going to get it filmed?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've been excited to see somebody from Evansville actually like film a special and put it on YouTube. I'm like, if I can help, let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure?
He's a film guy.
Okay.
I'm a sound guy.
Yes.
What's up, bro?
I mean, like literally, my whole thing is my plan over there on that little chalkboard. But I'm putting that together, just trying to figure out like the venue and just little small details.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm working on that. That's what I'm most into at the moment. And writing, of course.
Hell yeah. You're going to need some material for it. You thinking 30 minutes or more?
Yeah,
30
probably
minutes?
like 30, 45.
That's a good start. Yeah, 30
The nice
solid.
part too is you can record the whole set and cut out like a joke that doesn't hit or whatever. If you're like, I didn't like that, you can swap it. God bless you.
Thank you. That'll be sick, dude. But or shout outs. Who's helped you get to this point, like both in comedy and just like in life, dude? Because you have a very positive, like your aura is like fucking positive as shit.
Right on, bro.
Like I've been happy the whole time I've been here. So like, who's got you here? You know what I mean?
Definitely my mom, my grandma. My grandma was a G. She got me through a lot. She taught me a lot. And like I don't know. I guess when I was younger, just felt like she was fucking with me sometimes. But she was literally preparing me for everything that I would experience. And I'm looking back on it like, man, she got me together. So my mom, my grandma, Angel, who is the lady who made me get out the bed.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, my whole family, my little core family is tight. My brother, my sisters. I got 2 sisters. I got a brother, nieces, nephews, all of that. Like we're all really tight. Like so, they also helped me through. I mean, they were supportive even when I was in the wrong. So they pushed me to another level without them even knowing it sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Good, brother. Good. And you got to tell them about the show now.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't forget.
I'm on you, bro. I swear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm so fucking forgetful, man.
It's all good.
I swear.
He's going to wake up tomorrow and be like, I think I did a podcast? I don't know.
I started taking these mushroom pills.
That'll get you, bro.
You're talking like lion's mane and
yes,
cordyceps.
bro. I started taking that because I heard it would help with cognitive function. So I'm like,
he's on.
That's
it
what's
now,
up. I need to get something to get it together. And then I kept forgetting to take the pills. Shit.
This is not working out well for our man Antonio.
But
bro.
I'm on it now. I got a schedule. I've been constantly on it. And
yeah, dude, put a reminder in your phone. Take it every day at 9 a.m. That's what I would do. Dude, seriously, Antonio, thank you so much for inviting us into your home. I greatly appreciate it, sir. you know, I met you at that undisclosed, location at that show that had the not so great PA system, which I'm going to edit that name out if I did say it. But I knew then when I heard your set, I was like, I gotta get this guy. So, dude, you're so funny, bro. You bring a real positive vibe to the stage, and now even on the podcast, super positive. You're just a killer, dude. But yeah, man, I just really very appreciative. Tom, do you have any last minute questions?
No,
or
I'm good.
Concerns? Do you have any questions for us as about the podcast or about what we do, or do you have anything for us before we tie up and shut it down?
How did you two end up working together?
Boredom Brothers. It was like a YouTube jackass throwing beers thing that Brian did when he got back from the military, and then needed a camera guy. We
were filming everything on iPhones for this YouTube channel I had, and then I was buying a vape or something. I forget how it worked out, but we were looking for a cameraman. We just, not even really seriously, but somebody was like, "Oh, do you know Tom?" And I was like, "No, I don't know Tom." They're like, "Yeah, Thomas Grimm." Everybody called him Tommy at the time, but they were like, "Yeah, you got to talk to my guy named Tommy." And then it just worked out. He started filming stuff for us, and then we became buds ever since. That was, 8-9 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
No, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been buds for a while, dude. So
it's been a process, and the show's growing, so that's what it's all about.
Something else is growing over here, brother.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to wrap this baby up.
All right, Antonio, thank you so much, sir. It's been nothing but short of a pleasure. I really do appreciate you. Tom, I appreciate you as well. If you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hit the bell for the notifications. Tell your neighbors about us. And if you know somebody worth interviewing, shoot them our way, dude. We'll have them on. But yeah, this has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
And this has been Mr. Antonio Edmonds. Dude, you're killer. Thank you so much, brother. Cheers.
Cheers.